Good evening, everybody. Welcome to UCC and to the Department of Computer Science. I'm a staff member of the Department of Computer Science and I'm also Director of Research Lab, which I'll tell you something very deep about in a second. I guess given that tonight we're going to hear from Big Fish Games, I just want to thank Big Fish for sponsoring the Irish Collegiate Programming Competition, which has been running for the last few years. The weekend before last, so on the 24th of March, we had about 130 young programmers here competing at the national level. If you're on the web, you can get a list of all the teams that are going on there. So from all over the country, we had teams here generously sponsored by Big Fish Games and by Microsoft. Thanks to you guys. So if you go to ACM.UC Live, you'll hear all about that. Please watch out for that next year. The Department of Computer Science, which is I suppose hosting this evening, has lots of research centres. I run one of them, so I just want to give you a sense of what's going on. So it's called the Cork Competition Centre, which is the mouthful, so we tend to refer to it as 4C. And I guess what most of you probably do know is that one of the founders of the field of computer science and mathematical logic was a professor in this university, George Gould, who lived in Central City. And his most famous book, which is the one on the right-hand side, was actually written in Cork, down in River Place near the Mercy Hospital. We have a long history of being involved with the Cork. This is Tara Curran, the white shirt, who won the 2010 Research and Innovation Project Award for a project we did at LabTrain. We've been involved with IT at Cork. We did a project with Skull Club in Ireland in 2010, which won the Research or the Excellence in Education Award, and lots of other awards before that. We try to be involved as much as we can. We're heavily funded by the Irish government, I'm glad to say that one of the 10 areas of priority for Science Foundation is the area in which we work, which is called the Train Competition. I'll tell you that in a minute. So how big is this research centre? We have lots of big research centres in UCC. This one has about 55 people in it. We have just over 20 scientists, 20 students. It's been awarded about 32 million euros since 2001 in research funding. Last year it got 5.4 million in new money and it spends about 2.5 million per year. So it's a fairly large organisation. Just as a company, it would be a pretty sizable company. So we work a lot with industry. So I said we're heavily funded by the Irish government, but to work a lot with industry. So we have collaborations with these are some of the ongoing collaborations that we have. So with each of these people, with each of these companies, we have a specific funded project. For example, with the Health Service Executive, we're working on minimising waiting lists into radiology. With EMC, we're working on lots of cloud, which is related to the topic of this evening. With IBM, we're working on smart city type applications, and we have a risk laboratory, so a virtual research group focused on risk management in business. We're funded by all the usual places you'd expect to be funded. So why am I telling you this? If you're a company who's trying to get research funding, we've won research funding from most places you can win research funding from. So we'd be happy to share that sort of experience with you. So if you do find yourself applying for money from the 7th framework or something, come and talk to us in the Department of Computer Science. We'd be happy to introduce you to people and give you some feedback, whatever. That's what we're here for. Within the group, within the department more generally, and in course in particular, there are lots of sort of core scientific competences. So we have people who work in artificial intelligence, on optimization and machine programming, reason under uncertainty. We have a group on security, governance and risk. We have people who work in wireless sensor technology, so lots of different scientific competences. In terms of application areas, somebody in the department is working on almost every application you can imagine. So we have people who are doing energy management work with the IERC, the International Energy Research Centre. We have people who are working on data centres and cloud. So John Morrison, who runs the Centre for Unified Computing, has a cloud incubator. So if you're a very small company and you're just getting into cloud, you should speak to John Morrison. He has an infrastructure which is there for you to use for free, to provide training and so on. We have people working in transportation with companies like Lego and Sean Sullivan, these sorts of people. Sports is here, which might surprise you. So we do some work with Munster Rugby, a variety of different small level projects, from developing iPhone apps to gather data to do some data mining for them. Lots of different things. So I suppose speaking about my own area, what kind of things do we do? Well, this is the bane of our lives. This is the easiest way of explaining the kind of things that we do. We work a lot in decision making. In decision making, you have your decisions to make. So, for example, in this Luca puzzle, you have to decide what numbers are going to go into the boxes. And we can model these problems fairly easily. And of course, in general, we have much more complex problems to worry about. We have another problem, which you might play with kids sometimes, which is exactly the same type of problem, which color a map. So that no adjacent countries or counties or whatever have the same colours, and you can always colour these things with at most 4 colours. So this is another more difficult problem. One of the areas that our field of combinatorial optimization that we study actually has its roots in the study of food and what we call the least expensive sustainable diet. So in 1945, George Stigler, who won the Nobel Prize, in fact, posed a question which is what is the least cost nutritious diet? And so this paper was written in 1945. It was solved by hand, but I suppose what our field does is it studies the automation of complex decision problems like this. This is a very simple problem. We've got a set of foods. You've got recommended daily allowances. So what amount of each food should you eat per day in order to stay healthy? And what the optimization criterion is, well, over the course of a year, what is the least cost of that? Now, what's kind of interesting is, as I put it up, I will give the answer, which is, in 1945 it was just over $40, and today is $560. So it's kind of an interesting problem. It's kind of a curiosity in some sense. So we do a lot of we develop a lot of software tools which are available to use for free. So this is an optimization platform that you can use for building cloud applications. In fact, so we have built configurators and things like this in the cloud. You can download this and use it for free. It's so a numberjack.uc.ie. If you're going to use it, let us know. We'd be happy to help you. We work a lot with the industry, so some of the big companies. So EMC launched the EMC Research Europe a couple of years ago. So the Department of Computer Science is involved in that, and we helped them launch that thing. There's a Risk Analytics Collaboratory, which is a virtual research centre, as I said, that's focused on risk management in collaboration with IBM. So that's running upstairs. There are some startup companies that come out of the lab, so people always complain about research labs don't commercialise the research. So Think Smart Technologies is a company that's spun out of the lab and people come with it, and it's doing quite well. Another company that's come out of the lab is Kilobar Systems, which is doing extremely well at the moment, and hopefully there'll be some news about that in the media fairly soon. So they do electronic market design and optimization. They mostly work in public procurement, I suppose. You might know Trimetrics. So Trimetrics have a long history of collaboration with the Department of Computer Science. So when they first started engaging with the department, they were working with people like Derek Bridge, who's sitting here in the second row, and members of staff from the department are on their scientific advisory board. So they're based at the Rubicon Centre. There's a new startup we developed at the moment in healthcare analytics. If you're a CEO type who knows something about the healthcare industry, do let us know, because it's looking for a CEO. And I suppose just in terms of computer science and computing in general, I just have some statistics that I gathered recently for another talk, which is in 2011. You see these press releases coming out all the time. So last year, IT investments created about 13,000 jobs, out of 148 investments, and almost 50% of those were in ICT. So sales, manufacturing, business. You see the breakdown there. I guess I would like to make the bold statement that there's no recession in software. Now some of you might disagree, but there are certainly tremendous opportunities. The number of companies who come in looking for people who have really fantastic positions that you just can't fill is tremendous. There is this skill deficit, but there's this skills deficit is the same the world over. That's just the mark of the strength of the field and how much it's in demand. Just recently, if you look at best jobs in America, the #1 best job in America is software developer, and that's because it's the most interesting, it's the best paid, it's got typically has the best working conditions. So this is in the United States for 2011, and I think it's consistently been like that for the last umpteen years. If you go to best jobs in the world, 2011. It was again the peak strike back. It was software engineering. So the story is very, very good for the field. It's a nice field to be in. Of course, there's lots of things we need to be doing to help teach computer science. So we have a lecture that we gave here on teaching the principles of computer science to primary age kids. And this is going to be run over summer as a full day event as part of the Dublin City of Science, which means it will run once in Dublin, but it will run all of the times here in Cork in this building. So when you see that being promoted, do come in. Computer Science Department will be delighted to see you. And this uses basically ideas from a series called Computer Science Unplugged, which is really how you teach computing to kids without the aid of computing. Organizations like Cork obviously are focusing on the programming side, but there's a whole bunch of other things you can do just to get concepts. So what is the underlying idea? And there's a whole bunch of things there that you can draw from. And computer science is really fun, obviously, because it's multidisciplinary, it's rich, it's deep, rewarding area, and it's really about problem solving. And of course, now with games development, and, the development of companies like Pixar and so on, it's just phenomenally fun as well. So for those of you who are younger in the audience and thinking about a career in software, it's fantastic. So that's all I have to say. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Feel free to wander around the building. If there's a whole bunch of people here from the Department of Computer Science who'll be happy to help you or answer any questions you have. If anybody wants to work on collaborations and research or whatever, please come and see us. We'd be happy to help. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Mark.